So what's up, surveillors? I'm back with another video. I'm breaking down the movie The Dictator. And this movie is entirely about Osama bin Laden and how that whole charade was fake. And even the gematria confirms it. If you type in The Dictator movie and Osama bin Laden is alive, they both synchronize, because this is what this entire movie was about. That's why they kept leaving subtle hints in the movie to let you know who the dictator actually represents.
Hey, buddy, I saw that. That is very disrespectful to your leader.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Who are you? Osama bin Laden's best friend?
No, he is not my best friend. Although he has been staying in my guest house ever since they shot his double last year.
And there we go. Whenever they make these movies, they always disguise the truth as a joke. Especially in these comedy movies. Whenever they're extremely wacky or a parody of an actual movie, they start telling you more and more truth because you won't be able to differentiate from what's truth and what's real. That's why when the girl asked him, "What's your name?" he said, "Allison."
My name's Zoe.
I don't care.
What's yours?
My name is Son.
Allison?
Right, Allison.
And why did he pick the name Allison? It's because we're talking about Alice in Wonderland, tumbling down the rabbit hole. Which begs the question, how deep does a rabbit hole go? We're about to see.
Screw it. Screw it. Screw it.
I'm gonna enjoy this now.
No, don't. Don't, please don't. No!
No one will recognize the body without this.
The Supreme Beard, you will be cursed. No.
He shaved off his beard so nobody would recognize him. Let's go to the book The Message to the Millennials by Riza Islam. 97% of people do not know that Osama bin Laden was a CIA agent in the 1980s. It was said that his code name as a contracted operative with the CIA was Tim Osman. And now look at this picture. These two are the same people, and then they did it in this movie Dictator. Because when you shave off his beard, he's unrecognizable.
This man is an imposter.
No, this traitor tried to kill me and had my beard removed. Look! Arrest the Viper Tamir!
So why do all this? Why go through all the trouble to manufacture a fake terrorist on the world stage? Why do that? In my opinion, the primary reason why they went through all this trouble was to push that Patriot Act. The U.S. Patriot Act was a landmark act of the United States Congress signed into law by President George W. Bush. It was originally published in October 26, 2001, literally just 45 days after 9/11. So what does the Patriot Act actually do? So let's go to the book No Place to Hide by Glenn Greenwald, page 28. What made the Patriot Act so controversial when it was enacted in the wake of the 9/11 attack was that Section 215 lowered the standard the government needed to meet in order to obtain business records from probable cause to relevance. This meant that the Federal Bureau of Investigation, in order to obtain highly sensitive and invasive documents such as medical histories, bank and transaction or phone records, needed to demonstrate only that those documents were relevant to the pending investigation. But nobody, not even the hawkish Republican House members who authored the Patriot Act back in 2001, or the most devout civil liberties advocates who depicted the bill in the most menacing light, thought that the law empowered the U.S. government to collect records on everyone, in bulk and indiscriminately. A near-unanimous Congress approved a massive increase in surveillance and detention powers after 9/11, convinced by the argument that doing so would detect and prevent future attacks. The implicit assumption was that the powers would be used principally against Muslims in relation to terrorism, a classic expansion of power confined to a particular group engaged in a particular kind of act, which is one reason why the measure received overwhelming backing. But what happened was very different. The Patriot Act has been applied well beyond its ostensible purpose. In fact, since its enactment, it has been used overwhelmingly in cases having nothing to do with terrorism or national security. New York Magazine revealed from 2006 to 2009, the sneak and peek provision of the act, licensed to execute a search warrant without immediately informing the target, was used in 1,618 drug-related cases, 122 cases connected with fraud, and just 15 that involved terrorism. And this is exactly what 9/11 was about. How do we convince the public to allow the government to collect all their private information, stage a false flag event, then let their emotions pass the bill, instead of considering the future implications of it? This is why the Dictator synchronizes with Patriot Act, because this was the plan from the beginning. They wanted to collect all of your data indiscriminately, regardless how many innocent lives they have to take in order to achieve their goal. So for those who don't know, the USA Patriot Act is an acronym. It stands for Uniting and Strengthening America by providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct terrorism. What are the appropriate tools they're using to intercept or obstruct so-called terrorism? Your social media. Page 14. Well, what does providing appropriate tools mean and to intercept and obstruct terrorism? Let's break this down. In 2001-2002, Friendster is launched. In 2002, LinkedIn is born for hiring agencies to locate new job applicants. In the year 2003, PhotoBucket is launched. In August of 2003, here comes MySpace. Very interesting. By 2004, Facebook is created. But think about this. By 2015, MySpace still has 50.6 million unique monthly visitors and has a pool of nearly 1 billion active and inactive registered users. In June of 2009, MySpace employed approximately 1,600 employees. Now, what was it that the USA Patriot Act stated? What was it for again? Providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct terrorism. So by the time Facebook was created, the government had already established a way to monitor their citizens, but in a way citizens would freely allow. February 2004, Flickr is launched. April 2004, Facebook ads are launched to support exponential growth. June of 2005, Reddit is launched in February. Earlier in 2005, YouTube is born. July of 2005, MySpace reaches 22 million users and is growing at a rate of 2 million per month. By November 2006, YouTube was acquired by Google for $1.65 billion. Twitter is created September 2006. The Facebook news feed section goes live by August of 2007. Hashtags start to come out on Twitter. By October of 2008, Spotify is created. February of 2009, Facebook creates the like button, and by May of 2009, Facebook surpasses MySpace in users for the first time. By September of 2009, Facebook announces that it is cash flow positive for the first time. By March of 2010, Pinterest goes live. By October 2010, Instagram launches and hits 1 million users within the first 60 days. July of 2011, Snapchat is launched, and by April of 2012, Facebook purchased Instagram for $1 billion. By October of 2012, Facebook reaches 1 billion active users. Now, something to be very mindful of at this point is in October 2012, Facebook is now considered the largest social media site, having acquired Instagram. It's not only heavily monitored, but Mark Zuckerberg is actively meeting with members of the government as it relates to information on citizens. We cannot forget the foundation of where it started and where it began. Once the Patriot Act was established, they had to create a way to have complete and total access to information on citizens as well as foreign individuals. They wanted to monitor closely what information is coming in as well as what is going out, all under the guise of protecting the sovereignty and the overall safety of American citizens. Even though at the same time injustices are occurring on American soil, Facebook became the greatest honeypot for the CIA, the FBI, PENSA, and all other forms of local, state, and federal government agencies to have access to any and every form of information they would ever need. Alright, so now we've dealt with the data collection aspect of all of this. But remember, he said his name is Allison.
My name is Allison.
Allison?
Right, Allison.
Just like Alice in Wonderland. How deep does the rabbit hole really go? So we gotta dig deeper in this. And this is where I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start losing some people. But remember, they said they assassinated his double.
Hey, whatever, dude. Who are you? Osama bin Laden's best friend?
No, he is not my best friend. Although he has been staying in my guest house ever since they shot his double last year.
And then in this movie, the dictator's double actually got shot. And what did the double say after he got shot in the head?
Hello.
You are alive?
Of course, it is my job to be shot in the head.
It was his job to be shot in the head. They staged this whole 9/11 event, created a boogeyman, passed a whole bunch of unfavorable laws, and then pretended to kill the guy who supposedly was the mastermind of 9/11. This thing couldn't be more obvious. Bin Laden was supposedly killed on May 2nd, 2011, And then May 16th, 2012, they come out with a whole movie parody about him. Come on, people, this is a joke. They had this thing on lock. You're telling me after what, a year and a couple days, you got a whole movie ready and set up for this man? Come on. But whatever, we're past that. Let's pretend that didn't even happen, and let's dive deeper into this, because remember, this is about Alice in Wonderland. How deep does the rabbit hole actually go? So the fact that he has a double lets you know we're talking about cloning. So check this out. This is Franklin Jonas. He's the youngest brother to the Jonas Brothers. Most people didn't know they had another brother, but they do. And this is his Instagram. And it says, I am a clone. The Illuminati killed the real Frankie Jonas, like Avril Lavigne. Now check this out. I don't take nobody's word for nothing. I need some proof. I need some evidence. I need something. You can't just put some on Instagram and I'm going to accept it. But you got to understand, he just coded this entire thing. How so? Look at the picture. Nothing looks kind of odd to you? His brothers have a combined net worth of $150 million, and he looks like he was popping Taz at Goodwill with Macklemore.
One man's trash, that's another man's come up.
So again, let's dig deep. He says, I am a clone. The Illuminati killed the real Frankie Jonas like Avril Lavigne. So you're probably asking me right now, where's the code? It is right in front of us. It's the picture. He coded the words with the items in the picture. Remember, he said I'm a clone just like Avril Lavigne. The word Lavigne synchronizes with lizard. That's why he has the lizard on his shoulder. On his shirt, he has a NASCAR. On that NASCAR, I'm not sure if you can see it, but if you zoom in, it says Daytona. Daytona synchronizes with Avril, meaning Avril Lavigne. Again, he has a NASCAR on his shirt, and on his left arm, he has tattoos. You type in tattoos and NASCAR, they synchronize. This whole thing is heavily coded because he's literally trying to tell you, I am a clone, and the Illuminati killed the real Frankie Jonas. How else would he be able to tell you without everyone just laughing in his face? He had to code it. Let's do another one. His hair is blonde, and he has a scarf on his neck. You put those together, they synchronize. And the thing about it, he's not a natural blonde, so he did this on purpose. Alright, last one. Frankie Jonas and Avril Lavigne synchronized because they are both clones. That's why he chose her, because he knew their names were synchronized. Even in the show Inside Job, they made a joke about killing and cloning Avril Lavigne.
Skater boy crashed it!
If I had ears, they'd be fucking bleeding right now.
Woo! Thank you! The real Avril Lavigne died and was replaced by a clone in 2003!
Remember what I said, whenever they make these movies and TV shows real humorous, they always put the truth in plain sight as a joke because you won't be able to tell what is truth and what is the joke. And just to put the nail in the coffin on this one, Frankie Jonas was born September 28th in the year 2000. He dropped this picture on October 14th, 2020. The time between those two dates is 20 years, 2 weeks, and 2 days. Another synchronicity. 222. Zeros don't count for anything, they're placeholders. He posted this on 222. 20 years, 2 weeks, and 2 days. And y'all gonna believe that these people don't know esoteric knowledge? You don't think that celebrities don't sell their soul? You don't think they don't know when they're throwing up the devil horns in the 666? It's all just coincidence? BS. These people have sold their souls for the riches of this world. But that's another video for another time. So whenever you come across a movie that has anything to do with cloning, or the entire movie is about cloning, just know that this is an expose on it. This isn't a joke, this isn't science fiction, this is science fact. They have the technology to clone people. And this is exactly what happened to your boy Bin Laden. They created a clone, killed the clone, then said, look, Bin Laden's dead.